Welcome to episode 7.
7.
I know.
That's scary.
Cracking on now.
Yeah, we are.
We're nearly halfway through the season.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just amazed that people are still listening. It's
I know.
great. If you've made it this far, well done.
Oh, dearie me. Anyway, today we've got a wedding venue on. An
Mhm.
amazing wedding venue.
We have, yes.
I've done a wedding there. Have you done a wedding there?
I've got one in April and I'm very excited. Yeah, my
Ooh.
first time working at this venue, so I cannot wait.
I love it there. Anyway, so we'd like to welcome Darcey from Sudeley Castle.
Hello, Darcey. Now, Darcey, you are head of weddings, which is a big title. That is exciting. So, I mean, congrats on that role because
Thank
that's
you.
amazing. I bet you have a lot of responsibility, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything wedding related, you come to Darcey.
Yeah.
Darcey's your lady. I love it. So just tell us a little bit more about you then. Who are you, Darcey? How did you start working at Sudeley? Like, tell us a little bit about your journey in weddings.
So, my journey of weddings is actually fairly short.
Okay, yeah.
So, a few years ago, I grew up literally 10 minutes from Sudeley.
Dream.
And I used to go there all the time in primary school and I loved it. And I was about 15. I decided I want to do something fun with my summers. So I was like, I'm going to go volunteer at Sudeley at the summer.
Oh, I
and
love this.
hang out with the oldies that volunteer there. Let's go. And I had a really lovely time. And I used to always help on the Saturdays because I was someone that was available on the Saturdays.
Oh,
A lot of
yes.
people weren't.
Yeah.
And so I saw every wedding and I was like, I like that. That's really cool. And I used to sneak away from my post and like go and watch the weddings. And
Like, where's Darcey?
Yeah.
Oh, she's just hanging out at the
and me
wedding
and one of
room.
the other guys used to do it together and we'd go and like
Aw.
speak to the public about it. We'd be like, oh, look, there's a wedding. And we're like, yeah, we're just pretending to be managing the public. We're not. We're just watching
You're
the
not.
wedding.
Yeah. Oh, that's gorgeous.
And so I got in touch with the weddings manager and I was like, can I please help with the weddings? Like, I'm
Wow.
here anyway. Let me help. And she was like, of course, please help me. So every summer I did kind of 6 weddings from then on.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
helping them, being on site.
Yeah.
And then I went and worked in retail. I went and worked at Tiger.
Oh, yes, we spoke about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is just one of my favourite shops because it's just got all the stuff, all the little bits.
Knick-knacks.
Anything
Yeah,
you need.
knickknacks, that's the word. Yeah, it's got all the good knickknacks. We love it in there.
So I was working there for like 3 years and I kept helping at Sudeley in the summers.
Oh, nice. So you still did both.
Yeah. And then eventually the previous wedding manager was like, we have an opening. I want you. And I was like, yeah, I'm coming. And so I've been there for almost a year now.
Wow.
And then she left in the summer. And so I became head of weddings.
That is so exciting.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
That's amazing.
But also that shows your dedication as like a teenager
Yeah.
has really paid off because now you're literally working in your dream job.
Exactly.
And are you still 10 minutes from there? Do you still live
Yeah.
that close?
I still live
This
10
is
minutes
even
away.
better.
That's amazing. That is like the dream.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's almost as good as being a princess yourself. You live 10 minutes from
Exactly.
the castle, you know, it more or less counts.
You never know. I might live in the castle one day.
Yeah, exactly. Manifestation. We're going to
Yeah.
make it happen. Oh, I love that.
So could you tell us a little bit about Sudeley and the history of the castle
Yeah.
and why it's become a real sought-after venue for
Yeah.
weddings?
So Sudeley, I mean, it has a massive history and it ranges back from like 600 or 700 or something
Oh,
crazy. So
wow.
I don't know all of that. But the main kind of key thing is that in the 1540s, Catherine Parr came and lived at Sudeley.
Yeah.
So when Henry VIII passed away, she then remarried and came to live at Sudeley.
Ah.
And then in the same year, she passed away. And so she lays to rest in our chapel.
That's crazy, isn't
That
it?
is
Because I
mad.
didn't know that until I came for a site visit ahead of this wedding I'm doing in April.
Yeah.
And the bride was like, I can't believe I'm going to be saying my vows in front of Catherine Parr. And she like gestured. And I turned around. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
she's literally there.
Yeah.
Like, that is amazing. So I bet if you've got, you know, that side to you that's interested in history, that's a massive appeal.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we
the
get
fact-
a lot of couples that come in and they're like, oh, my dad loves history. He's going to love this.
Yeah.
That's so nice that it brings all the generations together.
Together,
Yeah,
They're all
exactly.
interested in that. They've all heard the
Exactly.
name.
And you know all that from when you were there as a guide.
Yeah.
You've probably got all that like history. So you
Yeah.
can talk to people about that as well. I bet you totally win over the parents don't you, on these site visits.
I do my best.
She knows it. She
Yeah.
knows it. I love it.
And
So
then I was going to say also, we have all our ruins. So King Charles
Ah.
I in the Civil War took refuge at Sudeley. So it was attacked by cannonball. So we've got our banqueting hall
way.
ruins, which was a beautiful 3-story banqueting hall. And it's just fallen to ruin now. But there's actually a cannonball hole still in one of the towers because they just left
Stop it.
and they just wanted to show that kind of statuette.
Yeah.
oh, that is
Really?
cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So that makes it quite like unique because nowhere else has the same ruins.
Exactly.
And they're
that as
right by
well.
the castle, right by the chapel. So all your guests see them. They're seen throughout the entire day and they're just amazing.
And is that where like couples would go for their photos?
Yeah.
Do they go and have pictures?
Quite
in the
often
ruins?
they'll kind of stand, you can
Ooh.
stand like in the window. So there's like broken windows kind of panes, and they can stand within the
That's
stone
really cool.
or by the fireplace that's kind of wreck and ruin, and the thrones and stuff. It's very cool.
And I think that's one of the things, like, I speak to my couples about this all the time. I'm always asking, like, okay, why have you chosen your venue? What's the link? And I think such an important thing is your guest experience and them having a great day as well. So even that starts from the minute they arrive, like coming through your grounds, there's just so much to see.
Yeah.
And it is impressive.
Yeah.
And we keep it quiet so like you don't see what's coming next. So when you
Yeah.
enter, you only see the chapel, and
Yeah.
then you only see where the drinks reception
Oh,
is, and then
that's
you
cool.
only see where dinner is,
Yeah.
and the rest of the evening. So we keep a lot of the like secret, so your guests are like
Yeah.
surprised as they go along.
Oh,
It keeps
this
them
is great.
interested. It keeps
Yeah.
them like involved. Which is
Absolutely. Yeah, it keeps it really exciting. And you're like, ta-da, here's the next surprise. Ta-da.
Exactly.
Here we go again. Oh, I absolutely love that. So what would you say then is a typical day in your role as like head of weddings? So what does it look like for you, you know, when you're getting ready for a wedding? Talk us through that.
So a typical day, without there being a wedding, like off season, I'm sort of coasting viewings, I'm making calls, planning meetings, site visits with couples, suppliers. So quite often suppliers of couples will be like, can we come and have a look at the site? I want to understand it more. I'm like, of course you can. Come and we'll do a wander around.
Yeah.
Which
Is lovely that you're for that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, because Darcey even invited me around. I was like, of course I'm going to come and have a look.
I want to
Of
know.
course, yeah. I
Let's
mean,
have a little
you get the
wander.
opportunity to do it all the time, but I don't. So
Yeah.
I'd love to come.
It's good. And I think it's great
Yeah.
as a hairstylist that you know the venue as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's good that you know all the kind of, you know, the little sneak peeks and the bits that you understand that as
Yeah.
a venue as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you never know, you might get someone asking for a Catherine Parr hairstyle.
Oh, God, yeah.
The whole French
Velcro rollers up for that one.
But then when there's a wedding on, it's more kind of the week of, we have a whole team meeting where I tell every single department the wedding's happening, where everything's going to be, where they can't go, where they can go. So we can tell the public where everything's going to be happening. I then kind of contact the couple themselves, and we have planning meetings.
Yeah.
We have a 3-month planning meeting before the wedding where we sit on Zoom for as many hours as they'd like to.
Yeah.
And we go through every single detail of the wedding, and we answer all the questions. And then anything left to be confirmed over those 3 months, we confirm. So we kind of work through this document together. We send it backwards and forwards.
Yeah, that's
constantly,
good.
All the questions, all the phone calls. And then the week of, they always turn up the day before. So we allow them to come and start setting up the day before, because we never do back-to-back weddings.
That's really good.
That's
yeah.
really nice.
So
yeah,
we're like,
that's
come
lovely.
and drop things off, put
Yeah.
your alcohol in the fridge, like, let's have a wander around, let's show your family where they're going to be going the next day.
Yeah.
So I always greet and meet doing that. And then on the wedding day, I'm here from 8 a.m. So I meet all the suppliers, help them know where everything's going to be. And then I do all the guests and all of that. And then the next day, I'm around as well, and I help them get their things back home, because again, we don't do back-to-back weddings. So on the Sunday, they can come and take their things after a hangover, and
Oh,
they
yes.
can kind of
Yeah.
slowly do what they'd like to do.
Yeah,
and
that's
sort
good.
themselves out.
That's what's really nice, isn't it? Because it's like you say, they're never going to be back to back. So it's like their weekend or whatever it is.
Exactly.
And how does it work with the public being there? Because obviously you are an open venue as well. Like
Yeah.
you spoke about, is it just kind of like separating the two, or how does that work?
Yeah, so at the moment we do collective and exclusives. So for a collective wedding, we're open to the public, and basically what we do is we have security and myself as a glorified bouncer, headset, clipboard,
Oh,
everything.
honestly, when Darcey's in headset mode, you know
Yeah.
it's on.
And we just speak to the public and say, I'm really sorry the chapel's closed for the next few hours. And
Yeah.
we make sure they have the privacy. So the chapel courtyard's all hedged around, so you can't
Yeah.
see it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
The chapel whole area is all nice and quiet. Or if they're using a different ceremony location, then we block that off as well.
Yeah.
And most of them, we kind of keep a good area closed, so they've got quiet all around them.
So they
Yeah.
can mingle and bits,
Exactly.
yeah.
And then for the drinks reception, again, we just make sure none of the public go in the rose garden or wherever they're using. And then the orangery and coach house for dinner are shut all day to the public, so they have
Oh,
all day
fine.
to set up. And it's only the toilets that during the day the public use, and then they get sorted. So there isn't much crossover.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
the whole entrance is down the private side, so again, there's not much crossover for the guests there.
Yeah, that's nice.
But with our exclusives, we're shut to the public for the day. So guests can do whatever they want, wherever they want to. They can do much more flamboyant things.
Of course.
Yeah.
We've got a wedding that's doing a Lamborghini
I
car
was
show.
going to say, I feel like you mentioned that when,
Yeah.
when I
What?
came and had a little look. Yeah.
What
Was
is
it on like
this?
one of the lawns by the
by our
pond?
pond.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're doing 18 Lamborghinis.
Wow.
And it's going to be incredible. But that kind of thing can happen with an exclusive.
Yeah,
but
of
with a
course.
collective, it's much harder to make that work. So the reason we're kind of bringing those in is because people more want to do those kind of weddings. They want
Yeah.
to have big displays, or they want to have a marquee, or they want to do dining outside on the lawn. And
Yeah.
they're like,
That's
amazing.
nice.
We'd love you to
Yeah,
do that.
lovely.
Let's make that possible.
Yeah.
So we've made it work being collective for so many years that now we're like, okay, let's start offering something else.
Yeah, that's great. And I think that's nice that people have that choice.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. So leading on from that then, obviously Sudeley's known for its historic charm, but how do you kind of balance that with like modern elements that people want to bring in, like the Lamborghinis into weddings?
Yeah. So we have our orangery, which is a really modern, temporary, permanent structure. It's temporary and permanent.
Temporary,
that makes
permanent.
sense. Yeah. Temporary, but it's not going anywhere. And it's a very glass, modern built structure where people dine in.
But it's strange because although it's modern, it does fit in with the castle. It's really weird.
Because you can see the castle through it.
I think it's because it is fully glass. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bring that kind of
So
history.
we've kind of moulded that together.
Yeah, that's really
But
good.
also all of our spaces, so the chapel's deconsecrated, the orangery and the coach house, you can do whatever you like with the decorations. So if people
Yeah.
want to modernise it, they can.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping them from doing that.
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
pretty blank canvases. I mean, they're beautiful within themselves. There's no need for the decor. But if you want to make it more modern, you can add disco balls into the chandeliers, and the DJs can bring all
That's
their
so
lights.
cool that you've got that flexibility.
Yeah. And we can we've got loads of like gold items in the coach house, but we can take them all out, and then you can put in flowers and candles or whatever you want to make it a bit more modern and contemporary. But
That's amazing.
Love it. Now, you spoke about, obviously, the chapel's deconsecrated, which we will know what that means. Obviously, I, do ceremonies in deconsecrated churches and chapels all the time. But to people who aren't sure what that means, can you just tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so deconsecrated basically means it's not a religious building, not serving as a religious building. So in terms of a ceremony, you can have a blessing in there. It can be given by a vicar, it can be given by a celebrant like yourself, or it can be given by a friend or family member. But it just means it's not a legally religious wedding, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Which is actually fantastic, because there's so many couples now that love the beauty of a church and love the thought of a church wedding, but actually they aren't religious, so it doesn't really fit with them as a couple.
Or like if their family are religious,
Yeah.
then they want to
Absolutely.
be in a religious building, but actually they don't want to have to go to the church 100 times before the
Yeah.
wedding
Yeah.
and prove that they go to that church. So
Yeah,
it
exactly.
creates a really good balance.
Yeah,
actually.
it's perfect. And it means you don't have to include religion in your ceremony. You can have exactly the ceremony that you want, but actually in that space, which is beautiful. But talk to us about the other ceremony options at Sudeley, because you've got a few different options, haven't you?
Yeah, so obviously the chapel.
Yeah.
We've also got the ha-ha, which is...
Oh, what's that? That sounds fun.
So
Ha-ha.
it's like, I think it's a Victorian term for like a man-made mound where you can see the rest of the castle. So it's basically a way of,
Okay.
ha-ha, this is all my land. So I'm going to show off to you. all.
Really? That's what it means?
Yeah.
Ha-ha. Oh, I love that. Ha-ha.
That's the only way I remember it.
And it's a
like,
man-made mound.
Yeah.
Man-made mound. Ha-ha.
So that you can
I
see
love
like
that.
the rose garden below and all of the castle behind you, all the hills and all the fields kind of beyond.
That's lovely.
So on there we can do a civil or a blessing. So for a legal wedding we can do it on there.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've also got the library, which is one of the family's own rooms,
Gorgeous.
which is filled with beautiful books and a gorgeous fireplace, and we can do a civil ceremony in there. So we actually offer to all of our couples, if they want to do that the day before. So on the Friday, if they want to come and use the library to have a civil ceremony, then they can come back on the Saturday and do their chapel blessing.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
idea.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
So have
because-
like an intimate ceremony before, and then
That's
the
it.
next day have the party in
Exactly.
a bigger.
big
Because if
wedding.
everyone's travelling down already,
Yeah.
why not do the signing of the paperwork?
Yeah.
Get that
minutes.
done with.
And then the next
Yeah.
day you can relax and you walk down the chapel and
That's
you have
such
that
a good
bit.
idea.
That is a great idea, because that's the thing. A lot of my couples will go and, do that bit at a registry office and won't really make a thing of it. But I'm seeing more and more couples actually go, no, do you know what? We are going to make a thing of our legal bit, because we're going to make it that intimate celebration with our direct family. It might be siblings, that kind of thing. And then they save their big wedding celebration and their big wedding ceremony for, their celebrant ceremony at the weekend. So,
And then we've also got the Tithe Barn ruins, which are personally my favourite place on the lake.
Really?
Because you've got the massive like carp pond, you can see across to the castle.
This is my favourite.
And is
place.
that an
Beautiful.
outdoor bit?
Yeah.
Oh,
And we can
lovely.
do civil or blessings in there as well.
Gorgeous.
And did you say can you do banqueting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I said to Tom after I'd come back from Sudeley? I was like, Tom, I've been to Sudeley Castle today.
that renewal, please.
And I was like, literally, that would be like so up
Your
our
dream.
street. Yeah, like the banqueting within the ruins, and then you've got the pond, and then the castle in the background. It was
Like
just
especially
stunning.
for like the evening before. So if you're doing like the library civil and then you want to have dinner with everyone, because the Tithe Barn's a little bit smaller and more intimate, it's perfect for like one table of guests or like two tables, 12 people. go and sit in there. The sun sets over the castle.
Oh,
It's just gorgeous.
Honestly.
Should we get married?
I
Should we
feel like we
just go and do
should.
it?
Yeah.
Let's just go and have our own ceremony.
Yeah.
Forget about the husbands. It's you and me,
Yeah.
Kate. We're wives now
Honestly,
anyway.
it's stunning. Yeah,
Wow.
we're wives.
That is honestly, I think we've got to make it happen. So what would you say then, some of those trends that you're maybe seeing for this year? Have you got, couples that are really saying, yeah, do you know what, we want to bring this into our ceremony?
I think mainly it's people who are either including the venue a lot more actually in the day. So like they're
okay.
going, we're going to have the castle painted on lots of things,
Oh, I
or
love that.
we're going to use the shape of it to do this, or
Oh, beautiful.
they're kind of like bringing that further in, or they're using like greenery to just bring out the castle rather than going, I'm going to put all of my colours and flowers all over it. Actually, I'm just going to use some vines around the beams, and I'm just going to
Yeah.
put greenery in there just to kind of liven it up a bit.
But let it
actually,
speak for itself
yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
we're getting a lot more of those this year, actually, where there's less flowers and more greenery.
Oh, I like
is
that.
quite nice.
Foliage like
Yeah.
that.
And the thing is, when you choose a venue like Sudeley, it's so breathtaking by itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't really need a lot of dressing up. So
No.
exactly like you say, you can just highlight those bits. And like you say,
Yeah.
the kind of using it for stationery and stuff like that is a
Yeah,
great
that's
idea.
cool idea.
Love that.
And I think that's nice as well, though, because you're going to save money automatically
Course
on
you are.
decor and
Yeah,
stuff. aren't you?
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
You haven't got to like really make it glamorous. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
bring out. You just kind of use the key features within the castle to kind of showcase you.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can you share some of the most memorable or unique weddings? Is there one that stands out from Sudeley?
The one that stands out the most was last season, and it was a completely medieval themed wedding.
Oh, really? So they really went for the
Full
castle
medieval.
vibes.
That's cool.
It was quite an intimate wedding,
that.
but all the guests were in costume. So they were
God.
put in proper fitted medieval costume.
Really?
The MCs were jesters, and it was
Oh
brilliant.
my God,
That's
that-
hilarious.
And they were like
That
running around
is-
with bells on and skipping everywhere, and it was epic.
Okay, that is just awesome. If you're going to
Yeah.
go for a theme, you've got to go
Well,
for a full
exactly.
theme. That's
and they
great.
had like the medieval bunting and flags in the orangery. They had the groom was in a full knight's like king suit.
Really?
The bride was in a full queen's dress and tiara and
Wow.
everything, and it was
Oh my
fabulous.
God.
And our entire coach house was made into a massive banqueting table with like knights' heads with candles sticking out and massive thrones.
Wow.
And like they brought suits of armor in and just put them around.
This is so cool.
And they had like massive turkeys as like their dinner. So they just like a massive
Like a proper
turkey, or like a
banquet
boar's
turkey.
head, just like on the middle of the table. And it was like, this
Oh my
is so cool.
gosh. It was
And
like being in Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. Oh, wow.
And all evening the DJ was playing bardcore. So I don't know if you've
What's
heard of
that?
bardcore, but it's like modern music, but in the style of a bard playing it. It's like on lutes and stuff.
Stop
So they had like
it.
Eminem, but played by a lute, like
Oh my God,
blasting
so
all evening.
funny.
It was
Oh,
so good.
wow.
It was just amazing, and it was like, okay, this is really cool.
I think that's the thing, like you say, those standout weddings that really wow you guys as a team.
Yeah.
Because obviously every wedding is so different and they're so beautiful in their own way. But when somebody gets a theme and they go with it, because they
Yeah.
obviously are loving it and having so much fun with it, that really must have been done so well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You'd have to share some pictures of that with us.
Yeah,
'cause
for
I'd love to
sure.
share them.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
But yeah, I think they had I can't remember her name, unfortunately, but one of the suppliers who did it, and I'll find that out for you, came in and she just completely decorated the entire thing, did all the costumes, did everything.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
And so it was like, okay, this has been done properly. It wasn't
Yeah.
like, oh, we've hired a few things. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is done properly.
Go
and
hard or go
fully.
high. Yeah.
And I bet she was in her element doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That would have been so much fun, wouldn't it? To
It
just
was
be like,
amazing.
go for it. Oh my God, more is more
Yeah.
in that case, definitely. Okay, love that. So what would you say then are some of the challenges perhaps from like a logistical standpoint when hosting a wedding at, a venue that is so historic like
Yeah.
Sudeley Castle? Like what are some of those challenges that couples may face or you guys may face and how do you overcome them?
I mean, the main thing we've faced is the public and
Yeah,
having
of
to make
course.
that work.
Yeah.
But with our exclusives, we've kind of
Do you find
Just
people like
that.
try and sneak in?
not so much that, but we get like kind of older women that want to take photos, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like we need to give them the privacy.
Yeah,
But they'll
yeah.
kind of stand far away, and they've got their like they got their iPad out with the case up, and they're like, and you're like, I'm really sorry, but no.
That's so funny.
That's kind of one of the main ones, but we've got security and we've all got radios and stuff, so we
Course.
keep communicating and we make sure that doesn't really affect
Yeah,
them.
absolutely.
The only other thing is that because we're a castle, we're actually quite a small castle, so the whole way round it, we're one room thick.
Oh, wow.
So until we had the orangery, we couldn't host big numbers.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now we can host up to 150 people.
Great.
Because our orangery can seat that. But we could only do like 60 people before. 'cause
really?
Our coach house was really quite small. So that was one of the problems we had, but now we've got the orangery, we've sort of overcome that.
Yeah. Are there any restrictions on like decor and things? Like, you know, because it's a historical building,
Yeah.
are there certain things you can't do when it comes to decor?
Really?
No.
I mean, we say in the chapel, like, please use ribbons rather than cable ties. 'Cause
Right,
we've got
yeah.
some very ornate woodwork.
Yeah, that's fair.
We don't need that kind of.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we allow candles, maybe just not
Yeah.
under paintings. But you know, we work with you. We're not going to say absolutely not to that. If you
Yeah.
want to do like a full feather wall, go for it. You know,
Wow.
we'll work with you. We'll make it happen.
That's so nice, because a lot of historical venues, you do normally get like real big restrictions.
Oh, of
like,
course.
you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
put this here, you can't move that. So actually to have that is, the flexibility of that is great.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's nice that you kind of give couples that freedom.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
I think the only other thing we have is when like storing outdoor furniture. We don't really have a space for that.
Yeah, of course.
So we make it work. We can be like, oh, use it for the rest of the evening. You know,
Yeah,
we'll bring it
yeah.
round, we'll move it into places. But that's the only thing that we haven't really got space for. So that's just something for couples to kind of keep in mind, is that if they want loads of outdoor furniture, actually, let's think about where that could go and how it could be stored.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense.
How can couples make the most of the stunning ground and the architecture? Is there sort of certain things or certain places that you'd suggest photographs or where they want to have?
I would say the tithe barn makes the most of the whole castle.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to do photos for too long, because lots of people, that's quite
Yeah,
in this year,
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
that
Not
you
really.
go away for 10, 20 minutes and then you're back with your family.
That's it. I think that's lovely.
The tithe barn takes you completely away from everyone, so you don't have to have everyone staring at you whilst you're trying to get your photos, because that's also really awkward.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're like your nan's looking at you and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
like,
my husband now," like, you know, it's a
yeah,
bit awkward.
yeah.
Whereas the tithe barn is really it's the other side, so you're on your own and you can see the whole castle behind you. You've got the pond. It's all really nice.
Yeah.
The banqueting hall ruins are the most kind of statuesque.
Yeah, like breathtaking.
Yeah, and we've had a few like rom-com looking posters in the windows that are really beautiful. People like standing and leaning
Wow.
in the windows, and they're like, one of my favourite photos is the bride and groom standing in the window, leaning and like looking at each other.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
it looks like the
cool.
cover of a rom-com. But
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. And I'm all for that.
Oh.
And I think also just knowing like where the lighting is. I mean, that's more of a
Yeah.
photographer's thing.
Of course.
But knowing where the sun will be and when.
Setting, yeah.
Because the sun comes through lots of our kind of castle areas and really lights them up. And we get golden hour across the hills, which is gorgeous.
Oh,
So you get like
wow.
the sunset across just outside of dinner. But what that means is that actually you can go up to higher places like on the Ha-Ha, and you can have the sunset behind you and the whole of the castle behind you.
Wow.
And it's just knowing where the sun's going to be.
Yeah.
It's like the main thing, because then you can be like, okay, the sun will be there, the lighting will be like this is where we should stand. Or even if the photographer just knows where the sun's going to set,
Yeah.
they can figure all of that out probably.
But that's really nice, having somebody like you who knows the venue so well and knows what you're doing, even if somebody's using a photographer who's brand new to that venue, which actually I quite like. I think it's nice when you get new photographers because it's like a fresh set of eyes. But also, you can advise their photographer on things like lighting and stuff. Like, you can let them know about the sunsets and things, and they can use their, you know, creativity to get those best pictures. But I think that's what's so important, finding someone that knows and clearly loves the venue. Like, that's what I think is so special about you, Darcey. You absolutely love it. Like, you can see how much you love it. Like, you were that little girl. In fact, you were like the nans with the iPads. You were the little girl peeking through the bush. But that's what I mean. Like, you can really see your passion for it. And I think that is so special, because when you're getting all these outside suppliers coming in, you have just got so much love to give about the venue, and you actually do really care. And I think that's what's really nice.
Yeah. I had a bride at Sudeley before, and she was a ballerina.
Oh, wow.
And she had, is it the tithe barn has uplighting? Has it got uplighting in the
I
ground?
think so, yeah.
Yeah, and she had this, I'll have to show you this incredible picture. She did like the splits within the ruins, and then obviously all the
seeing that.
uplighting,
Here
like
for this.
showcase like
Oh, I
all
think
the
that
ruins.
was in the banqueting hall.
Oh, the banquet hall. Yeah, it's
And it
stunning.
was really cool.
Sorry, but
Thanks.
wedding day splits, I'm here for
Yeah.
that. Everyone should be doing the splits on their
Yeah,
wedding
it's
day.
like, this is so cool.
Unless you can't do the splits, and then that's going to cause some drama. But, you know, the people that can.
Drunk enough, you can do
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
Liquid courage.
I think she definitely had a dress change.
We can all do the splits on our wedding day.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that. That's awesome. So what about accommodation then? Can people stay over? Or if not, do you like have places that you recommend nearby? Like, how does that work?
So in the castle itself, no, because it's a family home.
Yeah.
Um,
Do they still live there?
yes.
That is awesome.
So Lady Ashcombe's lived there for the last 50 years.
Lady Ashcombe is
and
such
she
a great
wanders
name.
around with her dogs.
Oh
Love
my
it.
God, what dogs does she have?
She's got a long-haired dachshund, and a cockapoo that's mental.
Oh yeah, they all are. I've got
So
two.
you see the cockapoo first,
Yeah.
then you see Lady
Yeah,
Ashton,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then you see the Darcey.
Yeah.
And that's like the order they walk
Tottering up the
around in.
background.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so. Imagine being a lady of a castle and just having your dogs to just hang out there,
Yeah,
and
what a
walk around the
place to grow
grounds.
up,
Oh,
right?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got
No,
way
you're
carried
fine.
away there. I was like dreaming one day that'll be me.
So yeah, so she. What were you talking about? Accommodation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
sorry.
still lives there. But we have cottages around the estate that guests can hire and stay in.
Oh,
So we've
that's
got a
nice.
gatehouse, which is really
Ooh.
unique.
That's
and
where I was
yeah,
for bridal prep. Yeah.
that's a lovely space. I mean, we usually recommend that for the evening of for the couple because it's furthest away from all the other cottages.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it's quite nice to have a bit of intimacy there. But then on the other entrance in, we have a guest cottage, which I think we usually say to the bridal party because it's 30 seconds from the entrance.
Oh, that's perfect.
So they're not at the entrance, but they're literally if
Pretty
they're
much
across the
there, yeah.
road. And so it means that then they should be late.
Yeah,
There's less
exactly.
chance of them being late.
Yeah.
But also, it's so nice to be near the entrance because then while you're getting ready, you can like sneak peek
Yeah.
your guests arriving. And I
Yeah.
love that. I
A lot
love
of my
seeing all
brides
the
like that.
guests.
Yeah.
Like looking out the window but being like, oh, you can't see me.
Like,
but I can
who's-
see you.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Nana's just turned up. Oh, look at, oh,
Yeah.
doesn't she look nice? Yeah, like, you're like having a little peek.
Exactly.
Yeah,
before.
looking at all their little outfits.
Yeah.
Oh, and that feeling, I know when I've been bridesmaid before and, you know, my best friend who was getting married, her husband came to walk past the window and we were all like squealing because we were like, he looks so handsome. This is so exciting. Like, I think it's just so lovely. So to have that vibe on your wedding day, being able to get ready in that cottage and,
Yeah.
you know, see everyone getting there, all your
Exactly.
favourite people, that's so lovely.
And we sleep up to 90 people across all our cottages.
Oh, wow.
So most of
That's
the
a
time,
lot.
the whole wedding,
That's
we'll
awesome.
book them out.
Yeah.
And we're like, amazing. They can all stay nearby. They're all right on site then. They
Lovely.
can walk home. They can walk there. It works perfect.
And can they like have a wander around the grounds the next day?
Yeah.
Like, you know, walk off that hangover a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly. They can just come on in, have a wander around. I think with those cottages, you get free entry anyway.
Great.
So they can just come in and wander around as the.
That's so
as the
nice.
holidays.
That's lovely. Do they do
Yeah.
like? Do you include breakfast and stuff with those? Do you have breakfast at the castle or not?
I
Is that
don't
like
think
something you do
so,
separately?
no.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of our guests, I think that's something we're looking at including because a lot more wedding couples like we want to
Yeah.
do an evening before and a breakfast the next morning.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most fun because then you all get together in the morning after and you're like, oh wow, that
What
was
happened
a good
last
night.
night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice to see everyone before they all go again.
Yeah.
Like congratulate the happy couple
But
again
in
and
our
stuff.
cottages, there's a little courtyard of them. Where
Yeah.
There's quite a few together. And there's
Oh,
a well in the
nice.
middle. And so quite often people will go and have coffees in the morning out there and then all
Cute.
chat to each other. Or there is a function room connected that they can hire. If they hire all of them, they can use that room.
Great.
But it's just off site and it's more kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
self-catery. But
Yeah, yeah.
there is that option.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that. I like the thought
Yeah.
of that.
So, what are some of the most unique and special touches that you found that couples have sort of added to their days?
I really like the anniversary cards on the table. I don't know
Oh,
if you've seen
yeah,
those.
that's nice.
But they have like a card on each table and they're like, can you just write something for us? We'll open it a year from now, 5 years from now,
Yeah,
10
that's a
years
good
from
idea.
now. I love those.
That's
I
such
think
a nice
those are
idea.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Especially because people don't really write in guest books that
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah. They always get forgotten, don't they?
Whereas
Yeah.
when it's on the table, people are like, oh yeah, I'll have a go at that.
Yeah,
And it kind of breaks the
yeah.
ice and I think that's a really lovely thing. I mean, the photography kind of, when people use their photos of each other as place names,
Yeah.
they're not that unique, but I think actually not that many weddings do them.
Oh yeah, no, I think that is still quite unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to do
And
that.
it's nice to see kind of those more personable touches on
Yeah,
table
yeah.
layouts that people seem to be doing as
Yeah.
well.
And what about unique things that people have done? Obviously, we spoke about the medieval wedding.
Yes.
Incredible. But have you seen like anyone use your venue in a unique way? That's maybe something that you were like, oh wow, I never thought about doing that before.
We had a wedding where they used the orangery with just sofas and drapes.
Oh,
so they didn't do any
nice.
tables.
Oh, I like
And they had
that.
like a bar set up on the side and they did all bowl food and they just had lovely like velvet pink sofas. and
Love
drapes
this.
everywhere. That was very cool. And
Yeah,
it was like, actually, that does work for an evening. That has worked really well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do like the typical table setup. Actually,
Yeah.
having bowl food and kind of finger bits and
Yeah.
everyone's relaxed on a sofa just chilling. It was nice. It was a good vibe actually.
That sounds awesome. So, Katie, I'm going to let you ask this next question because we know Eco Weddings is your bag, baby.
So, what steps are Sudeley taking to host more eco-friendly weddings? Is there anything that you're incorporating or you're finding couples are incorporating to make their day a bit more sustainable?
Yeah. So we only ever say you can use fresh or dried petals for confetti.
Yeah, great.
because as much as it says it's biodegradable, it never truly is.
No.
And it ends up in our gravel forever and ever.
Or gravel
Yeah.
and confetti is not the one.
We had one wedding where we didn't know, but they had paper of confetti, and it was before we put this rule in, and I spent 2 hours picking it out of the gravel.
No, you did.
At the end of the wedding day, like 6 p.m. Like,
see, that's where you don't
putting
want
it
the
all in a
title of
bag.
head of weddings.
Exactly.
You're like, this isn't my job, but it is.
Yeah.
Oh, bless
so
you.
we make sure that they use kind of fresh and dried petals. Really
Yeah.
important. We also make sure that in terms of decor, that they're mainly not kind of single-use decor.
Yeah.
That's
So if you're
nice.
going to use things, make sure it's kind of sustainably made, or I mean, people
Hired
don't
or-
tend to do that anyway. They tend to hire things in, or they make them themselves. and
Yeah.
then keep them for ages. Or
Absolutely.
we had one couple that bought glasses for all of their couples, but they bought them from charity shops.
Oh,
So
that's
all of the glasses were really
nice.
individual, and they were all being reused. They were all secondhand,
Oh, that's
which was really
lovely.
lovely. And it was kind of like, if you're not going to use it, take one home and take it to your
Yeah.
charity shop and let someone else have it, and that kind of ongoing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
really
love
good.
that.
Yeah, I like
Really
that.
lovely.
And I guess as well, a venue like yours, things like the velvet banners, which are a keepsake that you buy. I mean, we've got our own one here, but it's like you buy that kind of thing and you keep it in your home forever. Like you're investing in a piece, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's not just, little decor that you're going to chuck away
Exactly.
afterwards and things like that. And I feel like the velvet banners would just look great at your venue.
And we have a lot of things on site already, so people don't have to buy easels that they're never going to use.
Yeah,
We have
yeah,
them
yeah.
On site. We
That's
have a lot of
good.
things that people buy kind of one time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we've got them on site. You don't need to buy those. We'll look after that for you.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's great.
So if somebody is listening and they're thinking, yep, this is my bag, baby, I like the sound of Sudeley Castle, what is the first step in making it happen? Like, how do they make that dream a reality?
Yeah. So on our website, if you fill in the inquiry form, it comes straight to me. And then I'll arrange a viewing with you. We can go around the entire site. I can sell it more to you. And then after that, it's kind of constant emails, phone calls. You can book the date, and then we just keep in contact. Any silly questions are not silly. I will answer them all. Any advice I can give you, I do. And we just keep in constant contact, really.
That's
until
great.
the wedding day.
And I think having done a site visit with you and our couple for April, you know everything. I feel like any question they had for you, you were like, yep, all this, it's all good, it's all good. Like, you know the answer, and if not, you will find that answer out for them. I think that's so
Exactly.
good. And I think as well, things like that, those site visits, like knowing that you've got that open door policy is so nice for couples. And like, we're having a rehearsal the day before because it's not back-to-back weddings, so it's available on the Friday for us to come and, run through that ceremony. And I think things like that are what make a venue so stand out, because actually you've got the opportunity for all those things, haven't you?
Yeah. And we also allow, if guests want to come back, or not guests, sorry, couples want to come back and they want to bring their parents, or they want to bring anyone with them to show them the venue, of course,
That's
just let me
so
know.
nice.
I'll let you do
So
a viewing at
nice.
leisure, put your name behind,
Yeah.
and you can just wander around for the day.
Oh, that's lovely.
Like I'm not going to be strict on it. If you want to come and show your mum and your dad,
Yeah.
please do.
Yeah,
Like, they're
yeah.
going to be there too. It matters.
That's
so
so nice.
of course, come and have a look.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So what's the biggest misconception that you find that couples have about getting married in a castle?
That it's going to be dark, dingy, and smell of old stuff.
Mm.
Pretty much.
So true.
Like
Musty.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of couples will come in and they'll be like, I thought it was gonna be really dark in here.
Yeah.
That it was gonna like smell really, like, look dusty, like smell musty, and it doesn't. because it's old doesn't mean it's gonna smell like an antique store. Like,
Yeah,
we keep
yeah.
we keep it nice. It's a lived-in home.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. Is a lot of
Yeah.
kind of houses you look round do smell a bit musty because nobody lives there. Whereas because Lady Ashcombe lives there and she wanders around, it keeps it warm, it keeps it nice, like it doesn't smell.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't smell of
It
musk,
doesn't
guys.
smell.
Don't worry. But I think
Um,
that's the thing as well. Castles, you do think castle, medieval, brown is the colour
Yeah.
that comes to mind for me.
You
Like,
think
if we're playing
brown
word
and dark.
association,
Yeah.
I would say brown.
Yeah.
But our Sudeley's all Cotswold stone, so it's all kind of golden.
Yeah.
The sun reflects on it.
Oh, yeah, it's stunning.
And you go in and it's clean. It's
Yeah.
bright.
Yeah.
It's, it's a
Yeah.
really light and airy space, actually.
You
Yeah,
can
there's a lot of
tell
light.
It's really like looked after and loved
It
by
is.
everyone that works there. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've just done like a little refurb, haven't you, in the main space? Like, you've
Yes.
done all the decor and added
Yeah.
the blue. Is that right?
So
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the coach house, we've added blue to the ceiling.
Yeah.
We've got a new bar built in. It looks much better than it did before. We've kind of accented on more of the gold and all of the
Lovely.
features that make it a bit more castle-y.
Yeah.
Before it was sort of a white canvas, and now
Yeah,
it's got a bit
yeah.
more life to it, and it looks a bit more.
Yeah, it does
castle.
feel modern.
Yeah.
Feels like a modern castle. I
Yeah.
can't believe when you said it was established in what, 700, 600?
Yeah. Well, that's when its
That's
history
amazing.
began. I think it was like built 1,000, something like that.
We're testing your knowledge now. The tour guide
I remember back to when I was 15.
Oh my gosh. Now, what would you say then, looking ahead, how do you see like the future of weddings evolving, especially for like historical venues like Sudeley? What do you think, are there changes? Are there things that are there going to be exciting additions in the future? Like, what do you reckon?
I think for Sudeley specifically, we're looking to do more of the exclusives.
Yeah.
Now that we're offering that, we think actually that's makes more sense. It means that the public isn't interfered with. There's places like Sudeley Castle that have amazing models where at the weekends they close every weekend because they have a wedding in, and that's just how everybody knows. They know to visit during the week, and it works really well.
Yeah.
So I think for Sudeley that's kind of where we want to go, but
Lovely.
we never want to increase our numbers because actually 30 a year means it's quite exclusive already, and we're not doing back-to-backs. And I think that's really important for us, is that we're hitting 30. That's enough weddings for us as a venue.
Absolutely.
Let's make those weddings more special and more inviting to people, rather than being like, oh, let's do 100. Let's start at 150. Like, that's not the aim at all.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it helps to upkeep the castle itself as well, because if you're doing that many weddings, you're going to get damages, you're going to get things. Whereas if we do 30, we can control that. We can look after the building. We have time to do maintenance between. Like, we can really look after it.
Yeah, perfect. No, that sounds right. Thank you so much, Darcey. So if people want to find out more, where can they find you guys? Instagram, website, all that kind of thing?
Instagram's at Sudeley Castle Weddings. The website is Sudeley Castle, and then you go on weddings. I don't know the exact URL.
HTTPS. Colon /
Those are kind of our main places. But yeah, drop us an email and we'll get in touch with you.
Oh, thank you, Darcey.
Thank you, Darcey. Yeah, it was amazing.
Honestly, isn't it so nice to see how much she loves it?
Yeah.
I think that's what I
your
love.
whole heart is in that castle and with it. Yeah, I love it.
Do you think, like, because you're not married yet, are you?
No.
Do you think you need to get married there?
When I wasn't working there, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's
now
the thing,
because
would
I
it be
work there,
work?
I just start being like, Matt, can you do this? Like, excuse me, why are you stood there? Like,
Yeah, that's
you should be over here.
Yeah, it'd be your wedding day and you'd be like, no,
Yeah.
where's my headset?
Exactly. And I'll be like, I need my clipboard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that would be the issue.
That's so
But
true.
I love it. And it would have been exactly where I'd wanted to get married.
Oh, yeah. Just do a vow renewal there afterwards.
exactly.
That'd be the nice thing.
Yeah.
Then you can
Barn.
switch off. Yeah,
sure.
there you go. Oh, well, thank you so much, Darcey. So,
Now time for Toss the Bouquet.
yes, I'm very, very excited for this. So each week we have a different question that's popped in by last week's supplier into the bouquet. And then as if by magic, which is looking like you can't see the question. Hold on. Here we go. As if by magic, it has appeared.
I think it's in a peony somewhere. Just a reminder, this season's bouquet is sponsored by Blue and Bohemian, literally.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
It's there.
There you
Found
go.
it.
Oh, she's
Snuck
found it.
in
There it was.
It's so exciting. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. What's the most outrageous thing you've been asked to do for a wedding?
Well, that is a
That's a
good
good one.
question.
I think the most outrageous was probably, I mean, I wasn't necessarily asked to do it, but I was the only
Above
person
and
around.
beyond.
And the peacock ended up down the aisle.
No.
Stop it.
Yeah, so we have a peacock on site called
What's his-
Percy.
Oh, Percy.
Okay,
Percy
this is
the Peacock.
incredible.
Say what was his name.
What? I
Yeah.
can't believe we've got through a whole episode without talking about Percy. This
Percy
is
the Peacock.
amazing.
Every wedding he likes to walk past the chapel and he walks through all the guests and he's like, I'm here too. I look amazing.
Love him.
Percy's always there.
What a vibe. I can't wait to meet Percy.
Yeah. But one wedding he decided to go down the aisle. And I was helping the bride get out the car, and I suddenly heard like screaming from the chapel, and everyone was like, "Ah, there's a peacock!" And I was like, "What is going on?" And I came running back, and I had to get this peacock out the chapel, which is a lot harder than you think.
Yeah.
He's quite confident, like he's quite used to people.
Yeah.
So you can walk at him, but nothing happens.
And he's like not moving.
He just stays there, and he just kind of looks at you like, "You're right."
Stares you out. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, come on, then.
See what you want.
Exactly.
Peacock playing chicken.
Oh my God, I think I would have just left him in there.
Yeah, what?
I
Like,
was
what
getting
did you
married.
do?
Yeah.
How do you
I
wrangle a
had to-
peacock?
So first of all, I was like clapping and like trying to startle him a bit, and he wasn't moving, and so I got the whole congregation in there stamping their feet and clapping, and I was just like walking at him like, please move, like wafting my hands like, please go, and eventually he left, and I was like, thank God. And the bride was like, what was happening? And I was like, nothing to worry about. You're absolutely fine. Small peacock issue. You're all good.
This is so funny.
Oh, Percy.
Oh, Darcey goes above and beyond.
Yeah.
This role.
Peacock Wrangler.
So I wasn't necessarily asked to do it, but I was the only one there to move the peacock, so I asked myself.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good and pretty outrageous. Well done, Darcey.
Well done,
Oh,
that's amazing.
fantastic. And we'll get your question as well, and you can pop your question in the bouquet ready for next week's guest. So thank you.
So it's now time for
Every guest is always like, this fit's weird, and we're like, yeah, sorry, we haven't got the production yet. Every week.
It's all good.
We have to apologise each time.
Hi, ladies. Over the years of being a makeup artist, there are so many sweet, funny, awkward moments that I've managed to witness, but one stands out, and I think it'd be great wedding whisper for the pod.
Oh, I love this.
This wedding morning started when the bride caught wind that the rings were left at home after the groom had promised to bring them.
Oh, no. Also, that's the kind of thing you don't want the bride finding out.
No.
You want the bride to be oblivious to that.
It was late in the morning and everyone had a couple of champagne and whiskey, so when I went over my job remit and offered to go get them for the couple. Thankfully, they didn't live too far away from the venue, so a swift drive from their house was perfect. When I arrived, I couldn't find the rings, so I called the bride to see if she could help me locate them. It was when she told me that they're in the bedside table, my anxiety levels rose.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
I mean, your wedding day makeup artist really shouldn't be seeing what's hidden in there.
Yeah, because we get to know our couples, but not that much.
Not that
Come
well.
on.
I opened the drawer. My heart was pounding, so I swiftly hunted for the rings. Attentively rummaging through the groom's underwear. Thankfully, it could have been worse. No vibrators.
Oh, good.
Thank God. Just other things. By the time I'd gotten back to the venue and handed over the rings to the groom, he looked at me and his face dropped. Yep, he'd realised what he'd done. And what was in the bedside drawer with the rings. We both knew, he knew, I knew, and there was nothing that he could have done to rectify it. So the moral of the story, grooms, don't forget the rings, or your makeup artist might be hunting through more than just your underwear.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, my God.
I mean, we don't know what was in there, but...
No, it's probably good that they kept that secret.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, imagine when the penny drops, he must have just been like, whoa.
Oh,
what
my
is
God, yeah.
happening?
Like, I know where you've been.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, and you're the makeup artist. That's the thing. Like, yeah, nobody needs their makeup artist doing that, do they?
No.
Because you want to keep that demure character on your wedding day of like, yes, I'm the groom. This is my wedding day, not, oh, my God, you've seen my pants. And whatever else.
Yeah.
Suddenly, like, cross their legs, like...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, thank you. It's been a
for having me.
pleasure.
It's been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on,
Yeah,
Darcey.
thank you.
And here's to many more peacocks and medieval weddings.
Yeah.
Separately, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.